Because if I feel fear, then I'm going to have fearful thoughts. And if I have fearful thoughts, I'm going to feel fear. And that's the worst state of being to be in. But the reason that we incarnated, the reason we're here, is so that we can feel. You don't feel like you do when you're in the great beyond, guys, when you're closer to the source, where fear can't touch you. We come here to feel the fear, to feel the conflict for the growth, to experience it. Because it also heightens the opposite end of the spectrum in that love. What it's like to love in the physical. What does that look like? What do I do? How do I behave? What am I influencing? How do I treat others? What does love manifest as in the physical? And what does fear manifest? Like you're afraid of losing this body. You're afraid of negative outcomes. And you're here to learn what that's like and grow from it. And then bring that experience back to the source when you pass. And then you may or may not come back again to try again. And you keep trying until you perfect yourself. Or until there's really no more lessons to learn. Until you've experienced the whole gamut, the whole spectrum of feelings and potential thoughts and situations and experiences. But you must feel, guys. Don't, a lot of people out there, they're shut down. You know, you get to like this depressed state of being, or like this hyper anxious state of being, and you're like, you know what? It's probably easier if I just distance myself from my feelings as much as possible. I just want to be numb. People numb themselves intentionally. And that is like the furthest you can be from like synchronicity with the source, from tapping into the source of God. Source is God, you know, I mean, like they're just two different words for it, but it's the same thing. The energy, the platform on which everything is built, the intelligence, the consciousness, the awareness, all of that, the grand self. But myself, my grand self, is asking to feel. It's asking, it's craving it, guys. That's why we're here. People wonder, like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? You're here to feel and do and experience and grow. However it looks, God doesn't care how it looks, man. He doesn't care what job you have, what relationships you have, whatever. He just wants to like get a taste of it all, man. The sensory stuff is important because like if you go too far out of the senses, you're like, I am not my senses and I am not my feelings and I am not my this and all that, you know, like process of elimination. If I'm not all of those things, then I find my true self. Yes, like process of elimination is good to get you in touch with yourself. But once you finally get in touch with your truest self and your truest peace, go back to the feelings, man. Go back to the pleasure. Go and experience life. And out of that, you create the most blissful stuff. Do not deny your feelings. Do not deny your emotions, your experiences, your thoughts. Notice them. Feel them fully. Embrace them. We're too detached in spirituality nowadays with non-duality, where you're just going to be a fucking robot. No, man. The detachment is good in the beginning to get in touch with the stillness because we're so hyper, we're so always doing. Back in the day, like thousands of years ago, you could tap into the stillness much easier because life wasn't as busy. Life wasn't as complicated. Like the stillness wasn't as far away as it is now. Now, if you try and tap into your stillness, it's like a torturous thing. You go through like this like internal drama and conflict and turmoil. You're like, I don't want to be still. Let me go on social media. Let me go on, you know, and do whatever to distract myself from this current moment and how I feel and the peace that's always there. We're in a perpetual state of delusion. So yes, zoom out, detach, do all of that stuff to tap into your stillness, meditate, pray, do all of that stuff. That's required. But once you find it, once you become more aware, once you start noticing stuff, now bring yourself back into the physical and feel your feelings. And you'll notice that your feelings are heightened. They're more potent. They're more potent. They're more effervescent, man. They're just like you feel, you know? Like you're moved by life. And we tap into this all the time, guys, but we're not always tapped in that way. We're not always noticing. You know, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay. You have to sit with it. You have to like process it. You have to like let it go. You have to learn how to transition from it into beingness and joyfulness and laughter. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves, guys. You know, laughter is the physical manifestation of joy. There's no laughter in the great beyond, man. You're not like laughing, ha 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 ha, belly laughs, you know. There's no belly to laugh from. There's no breath. You see? It's just like this like flowing love state. You're always there. But the other side of it is the fear and the anger and the impatience and the frustration and the desperation, you know, and the anxiety, the nervousness, all of that stuff, all of the different variations of fear. You don't do that up there, man. You do it here to learn from it, to experience the duality, to see if you can see through that illusion that it ultimately always is. Always. There is never a time when you reach this place where there's like something to fear. The illusion, the fear itself is the problem itself, right? Like they say, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Like it's the most perfect cliche. If you're feeling fear, notice it, feel it, and identify it and say, what is that coming from? Is it a thought? Is there something in the subconscious that's just like, I have this like pit of anxiety all the time? Well, I need to bring that to the surface. And how am I going to do that? Through meditation and prayer, through contemplation, through introspection. It's not going to happen when you're like out and about and you're busy because there's no room for it to come up because you're like stuffing it down by doing stuff and distracting yourself. Movies and TV and social media and sex and experiences and like work and like whatever you throw yourself into to detach yourself from right now where you can access this stuff and learn about it and get past it. Because the true great like state of being for us in the physical is to be tapped into that love. God wants to see, God wants to know if we can tap into the love while we're surrounded by all of this fear. While so many are being tricked by this fear, the trickster, the manipulator, the devil, the lie, that energy, that negative energy that the devil represents, that's the devil is the personification of, that ultimately is an illusion that doesn't really exist, but only in the human mind. It's nowhere else. There's no devil in the great beyond, guys. There's no fear in the great beyond because you're so close to the source. You're always in this like loving, peaceful, blissful state as a soul. Then the soul wants to come in and experience the feelings. So how do you tap into your feelings? Like, what are you doing to get yourself there? Well, first you have to become aware of your feelings. And then once you have a good foundation of that awareness and it keeps coming up, you're noticing your thoughts, you're noticing your feelings more. You get to a place where you notice it all the time. You don't miss how you feel. You don't miss a thought. It's always like your awareness is registering it, your intuition is registering it. If you feel like shit, there's a problem here, man. You're not meant to feel like shit all the time, okay? It's a passing thing. It's fleeting. It's meant to come, experience it, and let it go. You don't get stuck on it. You don't create lies about yourself and wallow in it with depression and anxiety. We're so lost, and we think it's like a normal way to behave, and psychology has no fucking clue. Psychiatrists and therapists have no fucking clue. They're never going to address the root issue, man, because they're never going to sit down and just tell you it's all fear. Get rid of the fear. How do you get rid of the fear? You know what I mean? They don't break it down that way, guys. It's all like mumbo jumbo, like tons of wordplay, you know, mental masturbation over and over again, and identifying thought through thought, and identifying the mind through thought, and identifying your feelings through thought. You know, you're never going to get in touch with it that way. The intuition has to come up and make these things realized and purge them. You guys want to get in touch with your feelings, man? Like really? Let's say you're numb. Let's say you're so fucking depressed you hate your life. Look for the inspiration, man. Search for it. Seek and you will find. Whatever access point you need to get you more inspired, to start feeling better, and then that's the portal that you pass through to get into the stillness and the awareness, guys. Because you know what? If you're depressed and feeling sorry for yourself and you're oscillating between anxiety and depression, you're probably not going to want to sit down and meditate and be still and pray and give thanks. You're not going to be in a grateful state of mind, in a grateful state of being with feelings. I'm so grateful. I feel this abundant love coming out of me. You're not going to be there. And so don't lie to yourself. But let's say you watch a movie that inspires you. Let's say you watch a comedy movie that's just so fucking amazing. You know, you can give examples. Like, I like Groundhog Day because at the end of the movie, Bill Murray gets in touch with the gratitude. He's like, holy shit, man. Life is amazing. I'm going to give back. I'm going to be of service. It's amazing. The transformation he goes through. And it's fucking hilarious, man. The whole movie's perfect. Or music. Your favorite fucking songs, man. Make a playlist of just the most badass fucking songs for yourself. I did that. Like, I have a playlist in my Spotify. It's like all my favorite songs, you know? Like thousands of songs. Hours and hours and hours of songs. But from that list, not everything makes the cut for me. There's a lot of songs that I don't want to listen to when I want to feel inspirational and happy and joyous. And like really fucking moves me. So I curated a smaller list, you know, it's like a 4-hour best of. And I put that on and I'm like, man, every fucking song is a banger. Every song moves me. I feel through it, you know? It brings me to new heights. And I like sit and I'm like, wow, thank you, Lord, for this wonderful music. Get to that place. People are gonna think you're fucking crazy. Who gives a fuck what they think? You live. Live your life. Feel. Do not hide yourself. Do not be shy. There's nothing to be shy about. You are perfect. Always. How much time I spent in my life feeling sorry for myself, trying to numb myself, trying to lose myself in stuff, in things and experiences, to get away from myself because I was so ashamed. I was so disgusted with myself. I was so just pity and all of this different shit that we feel, the negative aspects of life, the fearful stuff, when I could have been living my best life all along. But I had to go through all of the suffering, man. Everybody does. You know, it's like I wouldn't change anything. I really wouldn't. I don't regret a thing. I used to regret stuff, but I don't anymore. I had to feel the depression. I had to fucking sit in it, man. I had a fucking decades-long dark night of the soul, man. No joke. And the most intense period of it was like a 6 or 7 year non-stop fucking suicidal depression where I wanted to off myself every fucking day. How I came out of that without doing that, a miracle. Who knows? God's grace. Because he's like, you know what? This Darius guy, he knows some stuff. There's potential here. Let's keep him around maybe. So that he can learn from it and then maybe speak about it and some people can also learn from it then. And if I only influence one person, 2 people, just a few handful of people, and the message resonates and it sparks you out of your own shit, then job well fucking done, dude. I don't give a fuck about the rest. The money and the fame and any of that stuff, I don't want any of it. I don't care. I don't. Like, yeah, you need some small amounts of money to subsist, but I'm like a minimalist, man. Like, I don't need a lot of shit. You know, gifts and experiences and cruises and vacations and all this shit, you know? Yeah, okay, occasionally, once in a while, you go do something for fun, fine. You want to go with your family and do stuff, fine, whatever. But we're too busy losing ourselves in all of this shit, man. And the cool thing is that now that I have reached this state of being, I can go back and participate in that stuff, but it's more full. I experience it fully now. I'm not always distracted by the thought and the feeling of feeling like shit and projecting fear all the time. I'm like fully immersed all the time, man. I'm always noticing myself and how I feel. And if like your feelings are the compass, they're your true north. They're your guiding light in the physical. They are the physical representation of your intuition. They manifest. Your feelings manifest. Like, everyone talks about the law of attraction and shit. I personally think most of it's bullshit. Some of it's true. Some of it's good. But the vast majority of it is nonsense. And where people have taken it is fully nonsense. Like wanting all these things and this money and stuff. No. But your feelings manifest, man. Your thoughts and your feelings manifest, man. And if you're feeling like shit all the time, what do you think you're going to manifest in your life? Aren't you going to manifest more shit in your life? Your physical and soulful spiritual essence, your beingness, your awareness is what is creating your reality at all times. And so the quicker you get into the good stuff, the better your life is going to look. It's going to be the good stuff. And then the good stuff happens, and then you feel better about it, you know? And then you're like, oh, good stuff is happening. I don't need to worry so much anymore. But you're still in the illusion because you're buying into the physical too much. You're letting the physical and the 3D reality dictate how you feel. And you need to get to a place where it's not dictating how you feel, where you're strong enough, you're courageous enough to see anything through. Okay? But don't lose sight of your feelings. Like in one of my videos, I'm talking about like how you hate your job and you hate how it makes you feel. And I say like, get rid of your job. Everyone feels like shit at some point in their lives, man. And you have to notice whatever it is, whatever the root cause of that feeling is, to get through it. That's why there's so much like stuff about shadow work and like therapizing, you know, like your limiting beliefs and all of this stuff. It's all the same thing for like introspection. That's all it is. You'll notice stuff about yourself. If you're too busy in your life, if you're too busy working and doing and like going out with friends and like whatever you distract yourself with, then you're not going to have time to like see what's going on in your life, how to improve. You don't have to always look for improvement, man, because there's an extreme to that as well, where we get lost in like self-improvement and shit. I'm talking about like the hardcore spiritual improvement. And you don't need a lot of time, man. It's like, it's more, you accelerate it quicker and it happens quicker when you devote yourself fully to it. But you can do it with just a couple hours a day, man, and go about the rest of your day. But while you're going about the rest of your day, don't lose sight of the spiritual background. Don't lose sight of keeping notice of your thoughts and your feelings. You know? But you have to dedicate an hour or two minimum a day in the beginning to like prayer and meditation and introspection. You have to. You have to create that portal within yourself to start noticing. And then it accelerates, guys. It's slow in the beginning, but then the more you do it, the quicker it happens and the quicker you ascend through it. And now you start becoming aware of everything. You're like, how was I so blind to all of this? It's amazing what this introspection does for you. And the feelings are so fucking potent, man. Like, where I am now, I am just like this bubbling spring of love all the time. It's flowing out of me. It reaches the fucking stars. I am infinite. And to like atheists and agnostics and people that don't buy into that shit, I am delusional and insane. But honestly, to be your most hardcore spiritual, you have to, there is like the borderline insanity. You're teetering on the edge between humility and groundedness and stillness and like the fucking insanity of detaching and losing touch with reality. You're in between. There's like this, you're oscillating there, man. And your feelings take you there. They bring you up when you tap into that love, when you tap into the peace and the bliss and the joy. And then you're like, wow, I feel so fucking great all the time. I don't have to like do all of this stuff that I used to think I have to do. And your life kind of falls away. And you don't lose yourself in whatever addiction you had. You don't lose yourself in like feeling sorry for yourself, or you don't like, you're not like the workaholic and like the sex addict and the alcoholic and the drug addict and whatever other shit. You put that aside, you can let it go. Because now with addiction and like different stuff, we're like fighting it. I have to let this go. And you're like, you're trying so hard. And when you tap into the spirituality and the love and your feelings and you're centered, it just falls away. There's no more trying. It just falls away. You surrender to it. You just let it go. And like people will tell you, like let's say you're an alcoholic and like you've had the most damning, hellish experience with your alcoholism, man. It's been like 15 years of just nothing but like binging and like you're always wasted and you can't imagine your day without alcohol. Someone coming to you like me and saying, hey man, just let it go. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you're so far removed from being able to do that. It sounds insane. You're like, that's not possible. You can't do that. I need to go to like my AA and do my 12-step program. And what AA and 12-step program is trying to do, it's trying to get you to tap into your fucking being, to let go, to give it to God, you know? But it's like a process. It's trying to like get you from, you know, step 1 to step 12 to let go and get you more in touch with yourself. And it works. But you don't need that necessarily. You can do it on your own. Do the work on your own. But at least with AA, you can like, you're forced to set aside time to go to it. And you meet with your sponsor, you know, and you do all of these things and someone's looking over you and like you have a support group and all of it's fantastic. You see what I'm saying? Maybe you do the AA and then you also like on your own do the introspection too and you double accelerate through that shit. And now you, in like 6 months, you like no longer have this even thing tugging at you. The thought of wanting a drink comes in and you're like, oh, haha, look at that. 6 months ago, I would have been down, but now I know where that leads. I'm not interested anymore. I've experienced it already fully. I know where that takes me. It's like in the Matrix where Neo gets picked up the first time by like Trinity and Switch and APOC. They're driving in the car and she pulls the gun out on him and he's like, whoa, what the fuck, you know? And then she's like, it's for our protection, Neo. And then he's like, no, fuck this. And she's like, stop the car. You know, it's our way or the highway. And he opens the door and he's ready to leave. And then Trinity stops him and she's like, you know what? You know that outcome. You've been down that road before. It's the same thing here, guys. You know that outcome. You know the suffering that's involved. And to tie it back in with your feelings, the more detached you are with your feelings, the more space the negativity can take up in you. It's like when I'm in touch with the bliss and the love, man, when I'm grateful, when I'm like just happy to exist, there's no room for fear. It can't penetrate the force field of love. It is expansive, it is potent, it is powerful, it is light itself. There's no room for nonsense. There's no room for fear, bro. You're like, what the fuck? No. Get back from me, devil. You know, like like when Jesus is walking with like the apostles and he's like, you know, I gotta go somewhere. And you guys can't follow me. And Peter's like, I'll follow you anywhere. He's like, no, you can't go. Oh no. You know, and he's like, get back from me, devil. Because in that moment, Peter's like scared. And Jesus is like, bro, you're afraid. The devil's got you by the balls, man. Get the fuck away from me. Don't project that negative shit onto me. But people take the Bible too literally. They don't really know what it means. They think like literally it's like, get back from me, devil. it's like so fantastical, you know? Anyway, I am centered within myself. When you become centered within yourself, ask the Lord to bring stillness to you. Ask the Lord to stay balanced and centered and rooted and grounded. Ask for that so that you don't fly off the handle, so that you don't get into the extremes of your feelings all the time. And notice the feelings, man. Feel them. Let them. Even if it feels crappy, like, I'm going to own this today. Today I woke up, I feel like shit. I'm going to own it. I'm not going to hide it. Somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm like, yeah, not so great. Why not? And then maybe that conversation you have with that coworker or stranger helps you process some of it, helps you release some of it. But don't like, you know, fear dump onto them. You know, don't like saddle them with all of this shit, but just like share, hey, you know, I don't feel so great. I haven't been doing that great for the past couple of weeks. Because everyone's like, how are you doing? Everything's fine. Everything's fine all the time. We're all so fucking happy. And yet quietly we know everyone's depressed and fucking like borderline suicidal with this like reality that we've created for ourselves. Not everybody, but a large portion. I don't know. What is it? 10% of people? 20% are miserable? Maybe not like suicidal, but really fucking sad and depressed and like frustrated. Feel the frustration, man. And then there's this thing that happens with like the frustration, especially where you like it's an energy that is asking for change. Like frustration, man. It's like I don't want to feel this way, you know? Like you're taking a fucking strange shit on the toilet. Like, how constipated are you? How frustrated are you? It just won't come out. And it wants to move through you, the frustration. It wants to be let go. It wants to inspire change. It wants you to get up off your ass and do something about it. But you just sit and wallow in it. You're like, oh, I'm just one person. What can I really do? Who can I really inspire? You know, like, oh, I can't really do anything about it. Oh, no. I guess I'll go protest or something, but that doesn't really do anything. You know, I guess people, you know, it raises awareness, but what really happens? I don't know, you know? But if you're okay with everything, if you know that magically it's all just going to play out perfectly, there's no like urge to like have this overwhelming change. God's going to let it change on its own. It can't not be changed. Everything's always changing. We're not going to be in the same place we are 5 years from now, guys. It may look better or worse. Hopefully better, but maybe worse. And that's okay. It might get worse for a while before it gets better. That's okay. We can endure it. We can go through it. It's okay. We'll be fine. You know, like we need, like, does somebody need to comfort you? Does somebody need to come and hold your hand and like tuck you in at night? Are you an adult? Can you grab life by the balls? Can you fucking go balls deep into life and fucking like really own this shit? Feel your feelings, feel yourself, project niceness onto people, project kindness and consideration and love for others. Can you get outside of your story and stop feeling sorry for yourself all the fucking time and like just spreading misery everywhere you go? Guys, if you're always sad and depressed, you are projecting your misery and perpetuating and creating your misery onto others. Your surroundings will start to reflect your misery. And then you'll get a miserable event outcome and it's going to confirm your misery. Well, how could it not? You're more in the disposition of wanting to agree with a negative outcome. You're like, see, I was right. The mind likes to be right, the ego. I was right. Life sucks, you see? Because this negative, I got a flat tire. Life sucks. Oh, man. I got to change my transmission, and I don't have $500 to change my transmission. Life sucks. Instead of it just being a situation that you have to deal with, you move through it, change the tire, you know, wait for a couple hours for AAA to come and change your tire for you if you don't know how to do it. But that 2 hours that you're waiting is just like the most like, depressing shit. Or I can't just like sit in stillness and like observe life. I got to go immediately on my phone to kill the time. People do that. We can't even have 2 seconds of fucking stillness between events. We got to just constantly be immersed in something. As long as it's not ourselves, as long as it's not feeling what we're feeling. Just like this constant asking to be entertained. And you don't get that like out of the boredom is where the greatest inspiration lies and where the greatest creativity lies. You have to be bored to find the spark. Not have to, not always, but a lot of the time. Our greatest discoveries come from boredom and stillness, guys. It might just be a fleeting moment of stillness, but it comes out of there. It's the fountain that it comes out of. And that's why I just like spontaneously speak about this stuff. I don't have to like have a script where like I'm reading it, you know, like how you have some videos. No, it just comes out. And I've done a lot of research. I've read a lot of stuff in my life, and I've stored all that information and knowledge in my head, in my being. And it's readily accessible right now whenever I want it. And it just flows naturally. And I'm not like encumbered by anxiety and like worried about what I'm going to say or do or how I'm going to be. I just be. I just am. I'm authentic. I don't try. It just comes out. And if you have a problem with it, then go fuck off. I don't care. You know? I've been saying like 0 fucks given. Be there, man. Like embrace life fully. Feel life fully. It's where it's at. Like, seize the fucking day, man. Seize it. Grab it. Own it. Feel it. Feel your way through life. I would rather you feel than think. You're more in touch with, like, God when you feel than when you think, believe it or not, guys. Because it's more etheric. It's more, like, flowing. It's closer to the soul. Like, the mind filters into the feelings, into the soul, into the body. You know what I mean? Well, it's actually like soul, and then feelings, and then mind, and then body. And then the chakras are like in between that and like the portals. But you don't even need to focus on your chakras, man. Just like envision yourself in light. Just feel love. Notice the internal feelings of your body. Notice the feelings in your hands and your feet and your legs and your head. Notice that stuff, the energy. And then just like when you feel love throughout and you're still, you don't even have to think about love. And like, I'm going to try super hard to be grateful and get in touch with that. The peace, the stillness takes care of it all. The stillness carries that whole fucking frequency and vibration of energies. It's all within it. It's the most potent thing. The peace and the stillness is more powerful than love itself. You know? The love is like the dual aspect, man. The love is like the one end of the spectrum, but the peace holds all of it. So when you touch and tap into the stillness, it's like out of that comes the fucking awesome feeling. The peace is the platform for it all. The peace is God itself, that you are. And your intuition is layered on top of that. And your intuition is pointing to your feelings. And your feelings are the compass that's like taking you. It's like if I go do something and I feel like crap, not like, oh, I thought of something that's like that. Like if I go do something and in the moment, it doesn't align with me, I don't feel good about it, then I know immediately to leave. And if I can't leave, I just sit and I like look at it and see if I can influence it in a way. Try and change it somehow for the better. But less is more. You know, you're not always trying to influence. That's a lesson I had to learn. It was like I was trying too hard. I was trying to force opinions and feelings and ideas onto people, strangers and family and like friends and all this stuff, because like I had figured it all out. And it's like, you know what, when you let all of that go, this like need to be seen and heard and whatever, then like life unfolds and then you're going to find whatever audience you need. Like if I just like go to a store, I go to Walmart and I want to buy some stuff, you know, or Target or whatever, and I interact with like a salesperson or like a, you know, whatever, a retail person there, and they're going to help me. Like that interaction is perfect by itself. I don't have to like search for more. I'm not like looking like objectifying women whenever I go out and I'm like, oh, she's a hot piece of ass, I really want to fuck her, you know, because I'm so lonely. And like, you're not doing that anymore. You're like at peace. You're feeling within all the time and you're just blessing them. You're like, you know what? I hope they have a great day. And then if they come up to you and they need something from you, you're like readily available. You're like open. You're not closed off. Everyone like in their negative feelings, they're closed off to life. They're not letting life penetrate this negative force field that they've created for themselves.